Today we're making my foolproof roast chicken with crispy skin and juicy tender meat. We're cooking to temperature, not time, which ensures perfectly cooked meat every single time. We're stuffing the chicken with loads of garlic, fresh herbs and lemon so it has loads of flavour as well. Here's how we make it. To start, we're going to take a whole chicken, place it onto a rack set inside a roasting tin, and pat the skin dry with kitchen paper. You want to get the skin as dry as possible here, as this will help it crisp up in the oven. Once the skin's dry, we're going to set the chicken aside and let it sit at room temperature for 30 minutes. Next, we're going to prepare the herbs, garlic and lemon, which we'll be stuffing inside the chicken's cavity. There's not much to do here, just cut a whole bulb of garlic in half widthways and cut a lemon into thick slices. Then it's just a case of stuffing it all inside the chicken's cavity. Now I'm using a large chicken, which weighs around 2 kg, but this cooking method will work with pretty much any size. Next we're going to drizzle a generous amount of vegetable oil all over the chicken. Then we're going to massage the oil into the skin using our hands or a pastry brush. Then we're going to season the chicken really well with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. Try to get salt on as much of the skin as possible, as this also helps the skin crisp up in the oven. Now that our chicken's seasoned, we're going to slow roast it at 160 degrees Celsius or 320 degrees Fahrenheit until it reaches an internal temperature of 65 degrees Celsius or 150 degrees Fahrenheit. To check the chicken's internal temperature, you'll need a digital food probe like this. I'll leave a link to the one that I use in the video description. After an hour, we can start checking the internal temperature of the meat. If your probe's reading 65 degrees Celsius or 150 degrees Fahrenheit in the thickest part of the breasts and thighs, you're ready to move on to the next step. If it's not, pop the chicken back in the oven and keep cooking until it does. Once your chicken's up to temperature, turn your oven up to 220 degrees Celsius or 428 degrees Fahrenheit, then pop the chicken back in. Then we're going to continue cooking the chicken for another 10 to 15 minutes until the skin is golden and crispy and the internal temperature of the meat has reached 73 degrees Celsius or 163 degrees Fahrenheit. Now the chicken's a couple of degrees short of being fully cooked at this point, so we're going to wrap it in foil and leave it to rest for at least 30 minutes. As the chicken rests, the internal temperature of the meat will rise to 75 degrees Celsius or 167 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the temperature the chicken needs to reach in order to be safe to eat. This method is called carryover cooking and is the best way to get the juiciest roast chicken. However, if you prefer, you could take your chicken all the way to 75 degrees Celsius or 167 degrees Fahrenheit in the oven. Now that our chicken's been resting for at least 30 minutes, it's time to carve. We're going to start by cutting through the skin between the legs and the rest of the chicken. Then we're going to gently twist the leg to expose the bone, then cut through the thigh joint to release. Then we do the same for the other leg. Next we're going to take each breast off as a whole piece by cutting along the side of the breastbone. When you reach the bottom, cut between the wing joint to remove the breast from the body. Any meat that's left on the carcass can be picked off by hand. Then we just need to cut the wing off from the breast. And that's how you roast and carve what is, in my opinion, the perfect roast chicken. You've got perfectly cooked meat, crispy golden skin, and loads of flavour because of the herbs, garlic and lemon that we stuffed the chicken with. Now I like to carve the chicken breast like this, so each piece gets a bit of the skin. Now this roast chicken is perfect for a family roast dinner, so I like to pile the meat up onto a plate, then garnish with some of the lemon slices and garlic, then drizzle over any of the resting juices. To finish, we hit the chicken with some more seasoning and then we can serve. And that's how to make my foolproof roast chicken. This recipe and loads more roast dinner recipes can be found on my blog, saltbuttersmoke.com. And if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week for another recipe.